Fish Legends, how are we? Rhino's Auto Electrical here. Something a bit different today. We've been called out to the John Holland track. So we're about 200 k's or so into it, halfway or so. It is cold, it has been pissing down all day, and this road, the mud, is slipperier than anything else I've ever driven on. It is nuts out here. We've got ourselves a mayday call from someone who's been bogged out here with a trailer. They can't move, so let's go find them and set your portraits in, left lies in bloom and creep up under my skin. I'm crawling out of this hole I'm in, then hit the truth from the beginning of the end. Why can't we love one another? I don't want no other, baby, it's always been you. Nice, boy! Yes! Fucking yeah, go to Colorado! Fucking nice work, boys! G'day guys, we're now back from our little rescue mission on the Holland track, and Uta's all cleaned and washed and going through a bit of the gear we had on this trip. I thought maybe we'll do a little bit of a quick review and show you around the cruiser. We've got a pretty basic setup on the old girl, which we'll touch on that shortly and we'll have a bit of a close-up. But the main things I wanted to look at, especially for this particular event that happened with going out for pulling these guys out, is your recovery gear and your essentials that you should probably take when going doing recoveries, camping, full drive and all that kind of stuff. So first thing is obviously knowing where you're going, planning your route. I run a HEMA HX1 GPS map system in both the cruiser and the patrol, but you can never always rely on them. Flat batteries, losing power, losing GPS signal, all that kind of stuff. So always have a backup plan. For me, I run one of these map books. You get these for about 60-70 bucks at your local newsagent post office. Just a Roads and Tracks West Australia map. I find this one really good because it's got all your normal roads in towns and that. And it's got a lot of full drive tracks and alternate routes, off-road roads, all that kind of things in it. So that's probably one of my number one go-tos to grab. So I recommend one of them. Also, in our toolboxes, we've got a lot of spare parts and equipment, more so than what you'd usually have being a work ute, and I do drive from site to site. But a few basics I'd recommend that people would have in their cars when doing your trips and campouts is these containers you can get from Bunnings, pretty cheap, about 10-15 bucks each, little plastic ones. I've just gone and got heaps of fuses, filled them up in different sections, and you just write what amperage is on them. Easy kits, good storage, they don't take up much room, so I've got one of them. I've also got another one here, same container, just get all your crimp terminals in, just for something as spare to keep, just in case, you know, break a wire for spotties or something like that happens, you might need a quick fix in the tracks, gets you out of this shit. When you talk about losing power, or if you're not set up right with your batteries and you get flat batteries overnight from using fridges and lights, etc., stuff like that, you need obviously a jump start. So if someone doesn't have jumper leads or you don't have a second vehicle, what do? So I run one of these, just the SJS 1500 amp hour lithium 12 and 24 volt jump starter. Comes with all your charger leads, a set of jumper leads for the lithium starter. It's also got USB ports in it, a little flashlight, and it also comes some extra cables so you can charge iPhones, Samsungs, anything else like that. That's a really good kit, and I think it's pretty affordable. I think it's around the $400 to $500 mark. It's been a while since I bought it, but that's probably another one of my go-to recommendations to always keeping your rigs. Now let's jump up and have a quick look at the cruise. First bit of gear we got in the back of the ute is our 90 litre Brass Monkey fridge freezer. Now this thing has had an absolute beating over the past weekend, getting covered in rain, sitting on the back of the ute, covered in mud, and it is still going and doesn't miss a beat. Definitely a quality fridge at an affordable price. It's a bit cheaper than your Wacos and your Domenics. I think I picked this one up for about $850 at Auto One. So that's probably one of my favourite ones I've had. I've ran King's fridges before and they fault, they don't get cold, they don't last, they're just not built. So save your money and buy something a bit better of quality. Jumping up into the cab. We have up here our Hammer Maps, our HX1. Good map system, like I said before, but always make sure you've got a backup. Now for these 75 series cruisers, for those of you that know, this panel up here, the original panel, has a cruiser logo here, and on this part here we have our sub fuel tank gauge and our activation switch. Mine was all faulty and I needed a new float lever, so I've taken that out and I've put 3 JRP gauges in here. So we've got battery voltage, water temp, and our sub tank level gauge. We'll fire them up shortly and have a look. For sounds, I'm just running a pretty standard Pioneer head unit. We've got Alpine Type S door speakers, put all in myself, and always got to have a bit of tunes. Here in our center console, we also have ourselves another little fridge console. So we've got a few drinks left over. This is again another Brass Monkey unit. I think it's about a 9 to 10 litre unit, so it holds about 8 cans of drink, a couple of snacks, so it's pretty decent size. We've also got, in this little cup holder spot, is a wireless phone charger. We've also got a USB port here we can use to charge as well. Really good little unit. They come with a cigarette lighter plug. I find that with that cigarette lighter plug, they come a bit loose, especially over cold races, vibrations, hard fall driving. They can sometimes cut in and out with power. What I've done with mine is I've just cut that off and I put it straight into an Anderson plug. Clips in nice and strong, no loss of power, works mint every single time. Up on this side of our dash, which is just a temporary for now until we move it for the rush for the weekend, we're just running a GME 40 channel 2A. Pretty standard basic 2A, but gets the jobs done. Out the front you can see there on the bull bar we have a 6 foot 6 dBi aerial. Now a lot of people ask why or what is the difference between the larger aerials like that and the small 3-footer aerials that come up to around there. Difference is these larger 6 dBi aerials are good for long distance flat surface drives and communications. In the hills, large valleys, they don't protrude that signal up and down the hills very well, so it becomes very crackly. That's where your smaller 3 to 2 foot aerials at your 2 dBi come in. They're a lot better for shorter range, hilly drives. So some people run both, some people run one of each, or one of or the other, and just personal choice really, depending on what you're doing.